New Muslims from America and other lands by Imtiaz Ahmad Madni, Chapter 1.3. Dr. Najat, how, a, how an American Hindu doctor discovers Islam. Dr. Najat was born, raised, and educated in India. He came to Windsor, Canada for his postgraduate education. He received very sound religious education, which he practiced as much as he could during his stay in India. At the University of Windsor, he found a very healthy interaction of ideas and cultures. He, like many other students, was open minded. He wanted to make his life meaningful for himself. He was not comfortable with his Hindu ideas and practices. He therefore started reading the Christian Bible. It appealed more to his mind than his native religion. Thus, Najat accepted Christianity and practiced it sincerely for a few years. However, he did not find the ultimate satisfaction that he was looking for. Consequently, he started exploring Islam ideology. Certain religious conflicts were going on in his mind while he was studying for his doctorate in the field of engineering. College campuses offer a unique freedom of choice and practice. Sometimes constructive debates are arranged between Jews, Christians, and Muslim scholars in a very healthy climate. This has opened door for many who have been locked up in their own closets. Najat learned Najat learned more and more about Islam through various sources. It made much more sense to him to have one God rather than having many gods to worship. He found the Islamic ideology the most consistent and coherent of all. Thus, he embraced Islam and chose Najat as his Muslim name. May Allah keep him on the right path, since entry into is a very easy thing, but growth of Islamic knowledge and practices is difficult. Najat realized that in order to practice Islam sincerely, it was necessary to marry as soon as possible. His wish was soon fulfilled. He got married to an educated Muslim girl from a respectable family in Windsor. The marriage ceremony took place in Windsor Masjid. Najat not only graduated in family life but also graduated from the university as well. Now, Dr. Najat was looking for a job. He had a grand offer from Ford Company in Detroit, America. He accepted the job and his family moved to Farmington Hill, a suburb of Detroit. A new masjid opened in this area called Tawheed Center or Tawheed Masjid of Farmington Hills, Michigan. I was, by grace of Allah, the Imam of this masjid. I met Dr. Najat in this masjid a few times. One day I asked him about his Quranic reading. Najat said that he could not read Quran in Arabic. I was shocked to find that a talented person like Najat could not read the Quran in Arabic. The reason was obvious. Many Muslims fail to find time to help other people on Islamic matters on one-to-one basis. In this way, many potential learners are left out or become disheartened. Without sacrifice of personal time, hardly any progress can be made. Lip service or sympathy is not enough. I asked Mrs. Najat boldly, Why haven't you taught your husband the Arabic alphabet as you have been married a few years now? She did not have a good answer for me. I said to Dr. Najat, let us have a deal. You give me 4 weekends. I guarantee that you will be able to read Quran, inshallah. We agreed to meet in Tawheed Masjid after Fajr prayer for a few hours. To our great surprise and happiness, Brother Najat was reading the Quran in Arabic after these 4 weekends. This generated interest in many other potential learners. Many brothers started working with new students on one-to-one basis. Surprisingly, one American born MD from Arab community joined the groups as a fresh student as well. This morning session was often followed by a simple breakfast in the masjid. Dr. Najat could read many chapters from the last part of the Quran. He, however, needed a better teacher than me. One elderly Syrian brother, Sheikh Al-Tasi, agreed to work with Brother Najat privately. Najat really started enjoying the recitation of Quran after learning the true pronunciation from an experienced Arabic speaking teacher. Sheikh Al-Tasi and Najat both loved this activity and extended it to daily meeting after Fajr prayer for about 1.5 years. Najat would then Najat will spend his morning in the masjid, then he would proceed directly from the masjid to his work. After work, he used to bring his family to the masjid for Isha prayer. Sheikh Al-Tasi and Brother Najat were both very committed in their Quranic study session. Winter is very nasty in Detroit city. Both hardly missed any day through snow or storm. Sheikh Atasi was very proud of his student. Sheikh Atasi used to say to me, Najat's pronunciation is better than yours. And I accept and I agree. Najat not only had an excellent pronunciation, but he could also read the Quran from anywhere you open it. Najat also started reading the meaning of Quran in English. In this way, he started appreciating Quranic verses with their full significance. Najat did not stop here. He quickly started memorizing the Quran. The last time I met him, he had memorized about half of the last section of the Quran. It is often very hard to find volunteers for community work. Most of the people enjoy criticizing or they like to make a big deal of what little they happen to do. Dr. Najat volunteered himself to run some of the community affairs without any preaching or motivation on my part. He often opened the masjid for Fajr prayer, although he lived the furthest from it. He used to remove snow from the footpath and passage leading to the main door of the masjid. He used to sprinkle salt over this area to prevent anybody from falling down and breaking his bones. These services by Najat were very essential and important to our community since any injured person could easily sue the masjid for huge damages. Consequently, insurance companies would refuse to provide insurance to such public places. Dr. Najat also helped run the weekend Islamic school in the masjid. He would again open masjid every Sunday before Zohar prayer and remove the snow and sprinkle salt uh, before the arrival of any teachers or students. Collecting school fee from the parents is a very unpleasant job. Najat did it without annoying anybody. He used to buy snacks and serve these to children during the weekend school. He used to clean the kitchen and defrost the refrigerator periodically. Brother Najat did not limit himself to indoor activities. The property around the masjid was spread over about about 2.5 acres. He used to fertilize. He used to fertilize the grassy area every year. He preferred to pay for the fertilizer and weed killers from his own pocket, just like he did for the snow salt. He was lean and young. He helped cut down some dead trees around the masjid as well. We highly appreciated his services during Ramadan when there used to be many community dinners every week. He helped every host in setting up dinners and serving them to men and women. He used to vacuum the masjid after nearly each dinner. He preferred to do most of the task himself very quietly rather than instructing or reminding others. He used to set up and serve delicious refreshments to the audience after the Eid prayers along with his volunteers. He and the community members developed a very close relationship. He used to invite many families to his house for snacks and dinners after Eid prayer. He did it year after year, and the response from the community was tremendous. Hence, the first thing I had to do after delivering my Eid khutbah was to rush to Brother Najat's house to entertain myself with delicious food. May Allah reward Brother Najat's family for their consistent and sincere services. One day I asked Brother Najat, "You know the Quran and Islam pretty well. What are your true feelings about Islam?" Dr. Najat said, "Honestly, I feel satisfaction deep in my heart which I did not feel with Christianity and Hinduism. The Quran has a very soothing effect on my mind and heart." Now, Brother Najat sometimes even leads the prayers in our Tawheed Masjid, Farmington Hill. This clearly indicates that there is no hierarchy in Islam. Anybody with good knowledge and taqwa or consciousness of Allah can be a leader in performing different Islamic services. Allah has says in Quran, "Verily, the most honorable of you with Allah is the believer who has taqwa, consciousness of Allah." In Islam, anybody with taqwa can act as leader irrespective of color, creed, geographic origin, or nationality. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم